Hi there, this is Debbie from celestialastrologyhealing.co.uk, and today I'd like to share a chart just to explain how we can look at some aspects within the actual chart. So today's chart that I'm hoping to share with you, here we go, is from, it's almost the live time clock, it's the 7th of June 2022. This was about an hour and a half ago. It's taken me a while to get organized to do this as I'm at work at Central Design. So this is a chart, a natal chart, if somebody was born at this specific time, GMT in London. And what I'd like to do is point out some aspects that the ancient ones who used Hellenistic astrology may have recognized. So in modern astrology, we're very much aware of degree-based aspects, but within ancient astrology, including Hellenistic astrology, there's what's known as degree-based, as whole sign aspects. So for example, here we are in the sign of Taurus. I'll circle that first before I bring out my arrows. So this is the sign of Taurus. And here we can see Venus at 11 degrees Taurus. That wasn't supposed to happen anyway. I'm just looking for my little arrow. Okay, so Venus is at 11 degrees 47 minutes Taurus, within a 5-orb conjunction here of Uranus, an outer planet, at 16 degrees Taurus 39 minutes. This is a symbol for the north node of the moon, Rahu, at 21 degrees Taurus 10 minutes retrograde. And here's Mercury, recently gone station direct and now moving slowly forward back into Gemini at 26 degrees Taurus at the moment, 46 minutes. So as you can see, Venus here is 30, 60, 90, 120 degrees. So in a whole sign trine to the moon at the moment, even though 11 to 17, that's a 6-degree orb. But even, for example, we would count this as a trine aspect in whole sign astrology if this orb allowance was even, around 29 degrees, I suppose, apart. So this is actually still within an orb, so it's not the best example. If we then look at Uranus. Uranus is even in a closer degree-based orb within maybe 1.5 degrees, from 16 degrees, 39 minutes to 17 degrees, 11 minutes. So that is a degree-based aspect within an orb. And also the north node of the moon is also in a degree-based aspect of about 4 degrees orb. And then if we look at Mercury, 26 degrees to 17 degrees, that would be, here's my maths showing itself not very well. Well, what I'm trying to point out anyway is that it's a whole sign trine. So trines are of the nature of Jupiter, which are more easy flowing, harmonious aspects between the planets. So this is a nice, easy flowing nature of a trine. Let's see what else the moon might be doing. Yeah, the moon is in a 30, 60, 90, 120 degrees whole sign trine also to Pluto. And Pluto is here in Capricorn, the end of Capricorn. Yelp, that's not what I meant to do. I'm trying to find my circle here. So here is Pluto at 28 degrees 15 minutes Capricorn. So you can see that there is an 11-degree orb there, but that wouldn't matter because whole sign just is in relation to the houses that are separated by that 120-degree aspect. So the moon is trine there. So actually, does that mean, I'm thinking on the spot here because I haven't planned anything. Haven't done a recording for a while. So I believe that Pluto would now be in a trine also. Let's see, 30, 60, 90, 120. Yes, so there's like a grand trine. If you were following modern astrology, this would be seen as a grand trine. And actually Pluto is in a degree-based trine to Mercury at the moment within a 2-degree maybe 2.5 degree orb. So you can see that pattern of the trine, 120 degrees, 3 times, making the 360 degree around there, around the wheel there. So yeah, trine aspects are of the nature of Jupiter. Jupiter being the largest planet of the solar system, so therefore Jupiter represents good fortune, positivity, and optimism, growth, exaggeration, enhancement, those sort of beneficial things generally. But obviously then you have to look at the nature of the planets involved, their dignities, depending on the placings of the sign that they're in, if they're in exaltation or fall, or in dignity or in detriment. So let's have a look. Mars, when we're talking about the dignities of planets, Mars is in Aries, which Mars rules. So Mars is strongly dignified. Mars is in his own temple of Aries. So that's a sign that Mars is very strong. Also, Venus is in her sign that she rules in her own temple of Taurus. So Venus is very strong at the moment. And actually Saturn is in the sign that he rules traditionally. He rules Capricorn traditionally and Aquarius. So Saturn is dignified in his own temple of Aquarius. So that's examples of planets being strongly dignified in their own houses that they rule or temples that they rule. And actually in modern astrology, Neptune has been given to, that's not the best circle, but anyway, Neptune has been given to Pisces, which was traditionally ruled by Jupiter. So here is Neptune in Pisces, or close enough anyway. So that's quite interesting to see that these planets are currently in their own temples at the moment. So I hope you find that helpful. And I haven't really gone into other aspects. Maybe I should. Let me see if we can describe another aspect, maybe a 90 degree. So let's go Pluto, 28 degrees Capricorn, in a square aspect. Oh, that is literally a square. That's not what I meant to do. So I need to bring this one up. Okay, so Pluto 30, 60, 90. So Pluto is in a whole sign square to Jupiter, Mars, and asteroid Chiron, who wouldn't necessarily be seen by the ancient ones. But in a natal chart, if you wanted to bring that in, you could. So square aspects are 90 degrees apart, and they are of the nature of Mars, which are more challenging. Mars is more about conflict, disagreement, separation, obstacles, severing ties, etc. So when planets are in square to each other, there can be a sense of conflict and something to be resolved by some type of challenge. So the energies of squares are Martian. And then therefore, you know, we dig deep, we have to overcome, we have to work things out through some sense of challenge. And it's always good to have a blend of the trine and the square. So at the same time as Pluto being square to Jupiter, Mars, and Chiron, Pluto is in trine 30, 60, 90, 120 degrees to Venus, Uranus, North Node of the Moon, Rahu, and Mercury. So those are quite interesting observations, I think you'll find. And also let's go into an opposition, which is the nature of Saturn. So we have outer planet Neptune at 25 degrees Pisces, 19 minutes, in opposition to the very fast moving moon, which is currently at 17 degrees in Virgo, 11 minutes. So opposition is about having to integrate and weigh up the two energies. They blend together, they can oppose in a tug of war type aspect until there's a fulcrum point of balance met. So with oppositions, Virgo and Pisces, they're very similar in their modality, as in they are both mutable signs, which are flexible and changeable and adaptable, and earth opposite water, Virgo being the earth and Pisces opposite is the water element. So they are both yin energy, feminine signs. So there's always a similarity, like a cosmic cousin type thing between an opposition, because these natures, if it was a fire sign opposite an air sign, that would be a similar thing. If there were a planet here down in Sagittarius at the moment, opposite the sun in Gemini, that would be of the nature of Saturn, the opposition of 180 degrees by whole sign aspect there. So yeah, now I think that is the major aspects mentioned. So they tend to be felt more strongly. And in a chart, normally you would look at the more difficult aspects being felt, especially by transit to the natal chart. And in this case, if we were looking at sextiles, there seem to be less powerful. Sextiles are 60 degrees apart. So we could have, for example, Mars in a whole sign sextile to the sun, overcoming as Mars is casting his ray to the right when you look into the center of the circle. So Mars is in an overcoming sextile to the sun, and the sextile is the nature of Venus, which again, one of the benefic planets. So one of ease and something that is not always felt so strongly, but it's an easier going aspect, which, you know, helps things along nicely. So that's a minor aspect, the sextile. And conjunctions are also very much part of the aspects that are felt strongly. So let's look for conjunctions at the moment. Usually within a 3-degree orb, if it was a degree-based conjunction. So not really. Venus and Uranus there are in a 5-degree orb apart. 6-degree orb between Jupiter at 4 degrees and Mars at 10 degrees. So that's a wide conjunction, really. With the moon and the sun, oftentimes the moon, you allow a much larger orb. But yeah, planets that are within 3 degrees are generally considered in conjunction. So I suppose you could say that, bring up my wee circle, Pluto is in a 2-degree, maybe 2.5-degree conjunction to the lot of fortune, one of the Arabic lots here in Capricorn. So because they're within a 2.5-degree orb, which is within 3 degrees. So that's a conjunction. So anyway, I hope this has been helpful, talking about aspects within the natal chart. And yeah, if you need to contact me, send a message, you can go onto my website, send me a message. And I also do readings where I'll be a lot more alert and have prepared ahead. But I just felt like being spontaneous today and sharing a video about aspects. So thanks for listening. I hope it's been helpful. Bye for now.